The following Flicker Effect podcast features a spoiler review for The Fate of the Furious. So if you have not yet seen the film, you may want to stop now and come back after you have. We also invite you to check out our latest News Effect episode. News Effect is where we discuss the latest in film and television news, so make sure to check that out. But again, this episode features a spoiler review for The Fate of the Furious.
Hello everyone and welcome to Flicker Effect. This is episode number 211. We're recording this on Saturday, April the 15th of 2017. As you can tell, I am not David Lott. I'm Michelle Curry, and joining me this week is, of course, Bobby Jackson.
Hey everybody, I'm back.
You are back, yes. And Jascha Wilson.
Hey. Welcome back, Bobby.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome back, man.
I know I hate missing my podcast family. It's sometimes other things call and you have to answer, but it's always good to be back.
Yeah, it's kind of weird not having you here, especially like when we have things. I'm like, oh man, Bobby would love to talk about this. Damn, where is he? Oh yeah, he's got things. But yeah, it's good to have you back, man.
Been a while. Thanks. It's been a while since I think all four of us have recorded now.
Yeah.
I think it's been a couple of weeks since we've had all four of us. It's always somebody's missing. Yeah. Myself included in that statement, big time.
Yeah. It's weird having David out for the show. Like I don't know. It throws me off a little bit because basically he helms everything. And so I'm like, I don't know. I feel like a duck in a very large pond, and I'm like just all by myself. But it's cool. So,
I think he comes back next week, but then it's like I don't even know what we're talking about next. I don't think there's any good movies out next week, so I don't know. It's like, what will we talk about next week? So,
we'll figure out something. You know us. We all just love to hear ourselves talk. So guys, what's new? What's happening in our world, I guess I should say. There was some pretty cool stuff that happened this week. There was actually a lot of things that happened in the world.
There was a lot of unexpected stuff that just kind of flew out of nowhere for us. I mean, it was. I mean, I think that was the most memorable. What was it, Monday or Tuesday morning that we've had in a long time out of just nowhere.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
No announcement. No big prequel. No like, hey, no build up. No anything. Just all of a sudden, boom. It's like, hey guys, we love you.
It was definitely a nice way to start the week off. I mean, like you said, Jascha, there was no sort of preamble to the fact that Marvel was going to drop a trailer for Thor Ragnarok. There was just nothing. No hints, no rumors, nothing. It just all of a sudden Monday, boom, there you go. Monday morning, here you go, something to talk about for the week. And it's like, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And on top of that, it was an awesome trailer showing us a lot of the elements that's going to be within Thor Ragnarok. I mean, you had Thor's hammer being destroyed. You had Kate Blanchett as Hela and seeing how she looks, and then seeing like that it's going to be more of a space adventure for Thor and this gladiator arena with him fighting against other competitors and then also going up against the Hulk. And there was like tons of humor in it. It just looked good. It just really made me excited more so than I already was for the movie and just anticipating November that much more.
Yeah. I mean, so, you're watching it and you're just like, wow, looks like Thor's in some really deep shit. And then Hela's there and she, she smashes the hell out of Molinar. I can never say it right. Yeah.
Mjolnir. Mjolnir.
I could just do what Jessica Shabbat does and call it Mew Mew. Like, so she just smashed the shit out of Mew Mew. It's cool. But like, I was like, wait. We're 10 seconds in this trailer. What's happening here? And it just keeps going and going and going. And I'm like, wow, Hulk's in it. Wow, it's like everything just kind of, it was like kept hitting. I'm like, this is just like the first trailer, right? Like, Jesus. Like,
yeah, this is just a teaser.
I
mean, let's be real. Like, I really think that was just a teaser. That was a 2-minute and like 4-second teaser for what's yet to come. And it gave us so much and yet not even close to what is going to really be,
right.
The grand scheme of things when it comes to a full trailer. And I saw it and I just was like, holy, I think I'm sure you felt the same way. It was just, holy shit. I back to back like 3 times. Just
right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
I just watched it over and over again.
Like, seeing Hela basically just destroy a world with those flames. And so I totally, so of course, I watched the trailer 5 times, right, that day. And then obviously Nerdist News talks about it that night. And so I'm watching it and they're like, oh, the flame's the color of the Infinity Stone that she has. And I'm like, son of a bitch, this movie's going to be amazing.
And honestly, that would make a really roundabout, concise, clear connection to Infinity War too.
Totally.
We would have the last stone.
Right.
And that's what we need. And it's just looking at it is just like, yeah, all right, well, that totally makes sense. Like, badass. It does.
I remember even after watching, what was it, Doctor Strange, I think that was the one thing we all were like, okay, last Infinity Stone, one more film to go. It's got to be in Ragnarok, right? Right? Yeah? Okay. Like, we all kind of figured it out. We're like, this has got to be happening. And I mean, they didn't show it in the trailer, but it just makes perfect sense for the whole thing to come to fruition through this Thor film. And then, yeah, it's like you're watching it and you're like, they're going to make Thor the Gladiator on this other planet. And then, of course, they open the doors and it's Hulk. And I just was like, FML, this movie is going to be amazeballs. Like, I cannot wait to see this film. Like, I was kind of excited for it, and now I'm just stupid giddy for this film.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer in itself, the music, the way they introduced the Hulk too. I mean, everything was so awesome. Like, just the prolonged, the incredible, and then they don't even say his name. They just show him. They're like, let's just show him.
Yeah.
They don't have to say his name. Let's just do that. And all the main act. I'm geeking out now. So it's like, I think it's fair to say that once we're done with the show, I'm gonna watch the trailer again.
I know, I watched it again this morning, and I was sitting there this morning, still kind of out of it with my coffee, and I'm just like, I'm going to watch it again. And I was like, God, it's still so good. It's just so, I don't know. It's like you just said, the music, and there's kind of, the way they kind of did it was very kind of throwback to the 70s, 80s kind of thing, and kind of ties together Guardians a little bit, like that kind of feel. And I think it's been hinted at that there could be a Star-Lord appearance in this film, but they definitely didn't show anything about that in the trailer. But I feel like it does have that kind of a vibe going to make more connections to being out in outer space and out in the universe and out in the galaxies. And I think they're again, it's Marvel just pulling it all in, and I love it. I love it so very much.
It really makes you think, at least it does to me, can you imagine if Iron Man bombed? The first one with Robert Downey Jr., we wouldn't be any of this. Can you imagine? Say that movie, cost $90 million to make. I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point. $90 million to make, and then it only made 20. They wouldn't move forward with a sequel or anything like that. Even if they had the teaser, even with the teaser of, I'm here to talk about the Avengers and Avengers Initiative or anything to that effect. How funny would that be? Is this if that movie just bombed, we wouldn't be getting any of this. And this is so much fun. And we still have so much left to see. So it's this is so great. I'm so excited.
Well, if you go down that rabbit hole, then I mean, it opens up a whole bunch of different things because if that first movie didn't succeed and we didn't have this whole Marvel cinematic universe, then DC wouldn't have tried to do a Marvel or a cinematic universe, and all
Yeah,
these other people trying
yeah.
to do cinematic. It
Right.
would cause a serious domino effect if
No,
Marvel
agreed.
hadn't worked. So
It
Agreed.
it's great that we have so much going on.
it's
Yeah.
crazy to see how far we've come in less than 10 years because Iron Man was in '08. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Like, look
Wow.
how
Yeah.
far we've come in under 10 years. And it's so funny because I remember, like, when Iron Man started and it all hit and everything was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great and they're going to really do this. And, like, they would announce movies like, this is happening in 2014. And we're like, God, that's so far away. Oh, like, we thought it was like the end of the world. We're like, we have to wait forever for all these films. And now I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow, it's not even 10 years. And we have how many films? Like, and there's still more, and it's all interconnected in one great big beautiful storyline, and it's just magical, and I love it. It is a gift, and I'm so happy that we are kind of living in this time with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and even just comics and film at this time. It's just a lot of fun. It's
It
pretty cool.
is. It is big geeky fun.
It's
Big
the
geeky
best
fun. Now I
geeky
asked Bobby something. I think I presented that, actually to the group. I thought I just sent it to Bobby, but I think it was the group. Michelle, are you familiar with Beta Ray Bill?
I see. I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot here. It sounds familiar, and I want to say yes, but I don't want to say no and like just fake it. So I'm gonna or say yes and fake it. I'm gonna say no. No, not really.
Bobby, what do you think do you think we might get a glimpse of Beta Ray Bill or a hint at it in this movie?
This seems like this is the perfect opportunity to do it because we don't know if there's going to be a Thor 4 or not. And besides that, the fact that Thor's adventure is taking place in space lends itself to being able to see the character of Beta Ray Bill. And for those who aren't familiar with Beta Ray Bill, he is another character that has Thor-like ability and has his own sort of hammer, but it's not quite a hammer, and I forget what it's actually called. But the character itself looks like a horse, kind of
Yeah.
has a horse head, and he talks.
Picture,
And
it's like picture. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just
No,
going to say, picture Thor's body, but with a horse's head.
yeah,
So I mean, and I'm with you. It's like if they were going to like that's what the first thing that I thought of when I saw this trailer. Well, maybe not the first thing, but along the lines of, one of the things that kind of popped into my head. But the fact that just every point that you just made, Bobby, is like, this is in space. This expands Thor's universe past Asgard and past, and further into a different world than Earth and stuff like that. And watching the video that you sent out with the what were they in the sky? The wormholes in the sky. Like this would, if there was a time to introduce or even hint at or even lend to the fact that Beta Ray Bill is out there, this would be that opportunity.
yeah, definitely. It'd be awesome too, because
Yeah.
I think people would go nuts. Who know anyway in the theater, go nuts if they show Beta Ray Bill. I would.
Oh man, if they introduced him and say like one of the gladiator scenes or anything to that effect, I would lose my shit. Like there would be cheering. I think there would be cheering, exponential amounts of cheering, and people would be like, "Oh my god!" And then before you know it, everybody would be having Beta Ray Bill t-shirts on.
Yeah, because he doesn't even have to be Beta Ray Bill with the hammer and everything, or with the weapon, and he just has to be as he was before he became like how Thor is and has the abilities of Thor, because he was just a warrior. I think something like a warrior, I think. And either I can't remember because I'm getting my streams crossed, but either in the comic books or in the animated version of Planet Hulk, Beta Ray Bill was one of the people that was fighting in that gladiator arena. So it does lend itself to being there. So it would definitely make people go nuts if he shows up in the movie, and then that just sort of hints at to where the possibilities could go later on if he became one of the people that was like part of the Thor Corps, which is a comic book had all these different Thors in it and from different like galaxies and stuff like that. So it'd be really interesting to see if they try and at least plant the seed there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're on track to him getting a new hammer or a new weapon, I think, because I don't
Right,
think they're
right.
just going to do the whole repair Mjolnir. I think they're going to I think they're going to give us the hammer with one side hammer and one side axe. And, then we're on, of course, this, kind of lends to the storyline that you just said, Planet Hulk. And, Beta Ray Bill was, one of the gladiators there, and he did do some fighting. So, this just very much opens that door for like another either storyline, kind of, just maybe an assisted character for some of the fight scenes, something to that effect. I just think that, for whatever reason, I feel like that he might pop in.
Yeah. That'd be very, very cool.
Man, Ragnarok's going to be awesome.
I think so too. Like I mean, the Thor movies have just gotten better each time around. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that, and Captain America has been another one where it's just each storyline has just gotten better and better. I really enjoyed Thor, the first one, and then the Dark World came along, and I really, really enjoyed that one as well. And it's the same thing with Captain America. While Captain America: The First Avenger was a good movie, it was fine, but we had this whole backstory that we had to deal with, and then we dealt with the Winter Soldier. And I think nobody was prepared for how good that was going to be, because I think everybody just jumped out of that one going, holy shit, that was badass. I mean, even Honest Trailers, who was notorious for ripping, movies to shreds, they even say it in the first, minute of their Honest Trailer for the Winter Soldier. They're like, who knew Captain America could kick a whole lot of ass? Look at this guy. Like, and just like they had to nitpick to try and find something because they felt the movie was relatively perfect.
It's going to be great. I keep geeking out. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here and I'm just like basking in my geeking out of Ragnarok and how good.
Yeah, I watched that video that you sent out too, Michelle, and I thought it was fantastic. Where all the Easter eggs for Ragnarok was out there. Yes. Thought it was great.
It's going to be, yeah. And it's like, I almost don't want to spoil myself with that, but I just couldn't help it. I was just too like, oh my God, I'm geeking out so hard. Yeah, it's such good stuff. So good. So what else happened this week, guys?
There's a bit of casting going on this week. Couple things. There's a bit in the news about Dolph Lundgren has been cast in the Aquaman movie, and it's kind of cool seeing him pop up, because if anyone's been watching Arrow this season, he's been in Arrow as the villain, as a Russian villain. So it's kind of him playing another Russian. And in Aquaman movie, his role is to be playing someone called King Nereus, and he's and from a different sort of kingdom, who claims Mira, who is Aquaman's girlfriend in the comics, and he claims her as his own and wants to kill Aquaman. So that should be pretty cool, just seeing Dolph Lundgren and Jason Momoa sort of locking horns in battle.
Wow.
I think that ought to be pretty decent. And the other little bit of news that we got was that Jude Law has been cast as Dumbledore for the Fantastic Beasts sequel. And I mean, obviously Jude Law is such a fantastic actor that it'll be really cool seeing him in this role and see what a young Dumbledore is like, and how that sort of relationship progresses, especially since we're getting Johnny Depp also in there as Grindelwald. Yeah. So I can't wait to see what the sequel brings. I know I spoke in the past about how Fantastic Beasts was just okay for me, but I'm really, really looking forward to this sequel more and more I hear about it.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go ahead, Michelle.
I was gonna say, I think Fantastic Beasts was a good film. Like, it was thoroughly enjoyable, but I think it just had to do so much groundwork that I think now we get the feel of where this storyline's kind of going and how they're going to kind of portray everything. So now I think it was just kind of like an audience acquaintance with what's going to be going on. And now I think everybody kind of like, okay, I see how the friendships are. I see how the storyline is going to kind of build. I kind of see the way they're going to go at these kind of, different angles within the storylines. Now we've all kind of got a good feel for it. So I'm really looking forward to the sequel, actually. And I think it's going to be exciting to see the storyline unfold between these two, main characters that their stories have always been hinted at in Harry Potter, and now we're really going to get to dive into it. And yeah, it's going to be good. I've got a feeling. I'm pretty excited about this one.
Well, I'm hopeful as well. I thoroughly enjoyed Fantastic Beasts. I mean, it was a great origin story, to kind of give us an idea of who these characters are. And like you said, Michelle, it's like now that we've kind of got this feel for them, we're going to get a chance to see them really kind of go out there and play.
Yeah, we're gonna get some meat to this now. It's like we're really gonna see this develop and build up. So it's gonna be good.
One thing that I really enjoyed about the movie was the fact that everybody already knew magic, so we just kind of like were experienced and ready for it. So we just kind of bounced right into everybody doing stuff and having some fun with it.
Yeah, no, it was nice to kind of just have it happening. It was just natural. It was just all part of natural existence in the world. Like it just kind of flowed. Yeah, no, it was great. And it was nice.
That was fun for me. Like I really enjoyed that. It wasn't every time, we would rejoin these characters, it was a new lesson that they were learning, or a new spell, or a new magic, or a new something to lend to the story. Everybody just knew stuff. Mm-hmm. And they just jumped into it.
Agreed.
But I mean, getting back to like what Bobby said about Dolph Lundgren, I mean, how awesome would it be for him to say, if he dies, he dies in this movie? I would love to see that. Like, I mean, I know I'm geeky and I'm such a dork with this, but come on, how awesome would that be if they just found a way to work that in there?
I'm hoping they work something in there, or like, I don't know, because it's hard to work it in without it seeming cheesy and corny, but you got to try and do something there, because it's just, how often are you seeing this guy on film or anywhere these days? So for him to be able to kind of come in and maybe lay it in there just kind of in a sort of a wink and nod, but without it sort of disrupting things, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, if we were going to see it, I feel like we were going to see it in the Expendables, because, Sylvester Stallone did such a good job with those action movies to kind of play and hint at like all these urban, legends and, these superhuman feats of some of the action stars, like when they brought in, it just left me when they brought in the karate guy that everybody says that can beat everyone. Come on.
Jet Li?
No.
Van Damme?
No, the white guy.
Seagal?
No. Damn it. My point is completely lost now on this fact that I can't remember who I'm talking about.
I'm running.
He has a beard. Chuck Norris, thank you. Like, when they first introduced Chuck Norris's character, he comes in and he takes out like 70 guys with, one gun, just kind of like that kind of stuff. He's so good at adding to that little mystique and helping that and having a little fun with it, that I think that if there was going to be that moment, then it would have been in that movie.
Yeah, sure. That's true. But you know what? I don't think that was it, because if I was to do my best infomercial spokesperson, I'd say, but wait, there's more. We actually didn't mention the big mother of all casting this week that everybody had been waiting to hear, which is we finally got our Cable, and it is none other than Josh Brolin. And obviously anyone in the know knows that he's also playing Thanos over in the Avengers movies and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So he'll be jumping from that and going on into doing Cable. And he signed, if I'm not mistaken, he signed like I want to say it's either a 3-picture deal or a 4-picture deal. So he's definitely going to be our Cable for a little while, whether it means like spin-off X-Force movies or more Deadpool movies or whatever the case. He's locked in. So it's so weird because he was never one of the people that I remember a name being brought up or being in contention. So he just sort of came out of left field and kind of swooped in and took the role. So, I mean, more power to him for him being able to, one, get to play twice, these comic book roles. And I guess even more than that, if you think about Sin City and also the other one that he played in that was the Western. I forget the character's name, but he had sort of a half messed up Jonah Hex. I
Gonna
just thought
have.
of it all of a sudden. Yeah, so he's been playing in the world for a little while, but now he's like sort of elevated his level to about as high as he can get playing these two different roles. So, yeah, I'm happy to see him play him because he's such a great actor. And every time I think about Josh Brolin, no matter what role he is in, I always flash back to him being in Goonies. But so he's
Yeah.
Right?
always
Yep.
old school.
It's always
great
him in
guy.
it's always him in that like sweatsuit in my head with
Yeah.
that stupid headband on. Like that's literally
Headband,
my
yeah.
first thought every time I ever hear that man's name as I flash back to his early 20s and he's in a gray sweatsuit and a headband. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Oh yeah.
So I'm happy with the news. I know Michelle, you had mentioned earlier in the week some other names, and one of the names actually I hadn't thought of before, but then I was like, oh yeah, I could have probably seen that guy as Cable too. But did the news not hit you as well as it hit us?
I mean, I don't know. I think maybe I had a little bit of a different vision of Cable in my head because I don't know. But, see, and the other thing is his story and his timeline is so back and forth through time, literally. And so it just, I don't know. I had kind of a different thought in my head, and I thought Josh Brolin just wasn't it, which is funny because like if you read like lists of people guessing kind of who could possibly play Cable, he would pop up on a couple of lists, but they'd be like, but he's Thanos. He's not going to do it. And so, like, in my head, I think I knocked him out early because I was like, yeah, he's Thanos. They're not going to do that again. They're not going to double book him, basically, in a way. And yeah, they sure did, you know. And it's funny because the one that was really high in the running was Kyle Chandler. And I remember at first, like, I would see him pop up on almost every list. I'm like, really? Kyle Chandler? And after a while, I thought about it and it kind of grew on me. And I'm like, actually, I kind of like Kyle Chandler's Cable. It could be kind of interesting. It'd be fun to see him bulk up and kind of do something like that. And yeah, no, that didn't happen. And so I have nothing against Brolin. I don't know. I think in my head, I kind of was going a different way, and it just kind of surprised me. But I think I know Brolin will do an excellent job. Like, I know he will. He'll deliver. It'll be great, and I'll wind up loving it. But right now, I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm just not sold on it right now. But I know I will be. Like, there's no question. Just, I think my head was just kind of gearing in one direction, and this was kind of not the direction I was going with.
Yeah, I like the idea of Kyle Chandler. I thought he could be funny. Like, I thought he would be a really good, rugged kind of role for him. But I'm on board with Josh Brolin as well. Like, I think he would have killed it. Like, I think he's going to kill it. I think he's just going to nail the part, especially the satire. I think the humor, all of it. I think he's going to do a really good job.
Yeah, I think so too. I think in the end, I'm going to be very happy. But right now, I'm still just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, okay. So I'll get there. I'll get there, guys. Give me some time.
No worries.
So, did you guys see
That's pretty much it.
Yeah? I was going to say, did you guys see anything this week? Because I didn't see anything. But I know you guys, I think there was a film you were kind of interested in seeing.
There was a little movie coming out.
Yeah, little one? Little thing? Not too well known?
If you were thinking in terms of movies that we've seen and have been anticipating, this is definitely one that always seems to, when it comes around, really start to kick off the summer movie box office, even if it's not quite summer yet.
I will agree with you on that. I will. Yeah.
Yep. And we're talking about The Fate of the Furious. And came out this week. It's been highly anticipated. And it's one of those movies that you're either buying into the premise of it and you enjoy what this sort of genre or this sort of movie brings to the genre of action, or you kind of are just like rolling your eyes because too much of it is just over the top. And that's usually the two camps that you find. You don't find too much in the middle. And I think that if at least to me, these are kind of like a throwback to early 80s types movies with the adrenaline filled, just sort of like over the top action that everybody's doing these impossible things that you used to see in Schwarzenegger movies or even Stallone movies back in the day, and it's just that reincarnated for a new generation. And I think for me, the last movie that came out, it seemed like it teetered a little too much over the top for me to where I was just like, it sort of pulled me out of it a little bit because of some of the different things that were going on. I mean, once you have a car that's jumping from building to building, it gets a little like, oh, come on, like really? Or cars parachuting out of a plane. Some of it just becomes too cartoonish in a sense. But with this one, there was this sort of central driving aspect to the movie where I remember when that first trailer came out and they showed that Dom seemed to be going against his family, and it was just sort of like, well, what's going on here? Like, is he brainwashed? Is he being told to do something that he's not supposed to do? But he's trying to do something for the right reasons. You just didn't know. So I had that feeling of like, I really don't want to see him going up against the team. So I kind of went into it with trepidation and sort of like arms crossed, kind of prove to me that you're still worthy of this action franchise that you built, and or is it going down the tubes and kind of like worn out its welcome? And I have to say that I am definitely happy with this movie than I was with the last one. I thought that this one, while it does still do over the top things, I felt like I was more still into it and not completely taken out by it, which I can absolutely see someone being on the exact opposite side, because it's some crazy stuff that they do in this movie. Once you're going up against a submarine and all the different things that are going on in there, you're definitely going to have to pause for a minute and put your brain on pause and be like, okay, let's just enjoy the action as it's happening, because that's what these films are about. And they're meant to have fun with them and not take them too seriously. But it's such a fine line before you kind of get to the point where like, you're just like, all right, this is just too ridiculous now, and I'm completely checked out. So it's a constant balance, because they're always trying to top themselves each movie out, and to try and not go too far is a juggling act. And I thought this one handled it just right enough to where it seems like they're still on track, and the movies can continue going for a little bit longer because they continue to make it entertaining and compelling. And I think one of the best parts about this movie was The Rock and Jason Statham, and just seeing the way those guys interact together and just against each other and hanging, sort of cooperating with each other. It's just still more life in this franchise to me, and I really enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. So that's how I feel about the Fate of the Furious 8. Is that how it's called? The Fate of the Furious. There we go. I'm getting mixed up with the name of these titles all the time now.
Well, they keep them so diverse, I mean, they really branched out when it comes to naming these films.
Yeah, right. What can we say, but make sure we keep the word furious in there?
Yeah, they got to keep that furious in there. And that was the other thing.
How many different F words can we use?
Right.
That was the other thing that I actually thought was good is that I didn't mention was that the locations that they go to. I love seeing when they film on location in different places, because a lot of places or a lot of movies will not really go to the place that they say that they're in and just film on some lot somewhere. But you can tell that they are actually in those places, and it helps, I think, the action and the set pieces, because the place that they're in becomes part of the set piece and the action, and in a way that feels more organic and makes it, at least gives you more of a authenticity to the feel of what's going on. But I'm done talking. Jascha, what'd you think?
I mean, I don't really know what else I can say that you didn't already say, Bobby. We see eye to eye on so many occasions when it comes to these films. Like, I think if we were to rate it on a scale, we're probably eye to eye either 8 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times when if not 10 out of 10 times when it comes to films. And even the like Easter eggs or the the hidden features or the the little clues that they talked about or the inside jokes. Like, we're always so on the same page when it comes to so many of the movies that we talk about in a review. This is no different. Like, you brought up exactly what I wanted to bring up when it came to talking about this movie. Like, watching the last one, I was ready to check out after Furious 7, because the jumping from building to building in a car and then jumping out of an airplane with cars, I was just like, no, I'm sorry, but no. You know what? Go to hell. Like, that's just too much. And I think, like you said, it's like, when is it? There's a dance that you have to play with, as to like the form of reality, and this one seemed, pun intended, a little bit more grounded, because it got back to the cars and it got back to racing, it got back to driving fast and having these amazing action sequences on the ground, opposed to jumping from building to building in a car. Like, come on, man, that just sounds ridiculous, and it came off ridiculous too. Because I really feel like, you don't want to jump the shark necessarily, but you do want to be able to swim with it and maybe swim away from the shark. And that's kind of where they were with this movie right here, especially with the scene when it came to outrunning or chase scene with a submarine. It was right there in the retrospect of like, how realistic is this, going to be? And it's not, but it's still like, what are you willing to accept? I mean, we go and celebrate comic book movies of other worlds and people climbing on walls and flying and building, so it's like, we have the ability and the capability to suspend reality and really enjoy it. But at what point, do you want to like not really accept or suspend reality anymore? And I think with these stories is like, they kind of try and make it so that, hey, this is possible, or hey, these are these special forces teams that they are able to come up with all of this, and they have super hackers and they have this, terrorism and everything like that, but they are just so good at driving cars that they manage to be able to get away with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
I was going to say, that being said, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I thought it was way funnier than what I was expecting. I went in there with your same mentality, Bobby, that it just was like, I'm going to watch this, and I'm watching this for the review, and I'm probably going to rip it to pieces because they showed a fucking submarine in there in the trailer, and I'm just not on board with the idea of them outrunning a submarine. But that being said, when I walked out, I was like, wow, that was much funnier and much more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. I really did like this movie. Was it my favorite out of the 8 movies that they've done? I haven't seen Tokyo Drift, so I can't say, out of all of them, I missed that movie. But my favorite so far has been Furious 5. But this was a really good put on. And like you said, Bobby, Jason Statham was fantastic. Dwayne Johnson, they bounced off of each other and played off each other. They were really, really good. Charlize Theron was pretty good. Kurt Russell was fantastic in this movie with Scott Eastwood. Their dynamic back and forth was just fantastic. And introducing Scott Eastwood into there as one of the characters, and they called his name was Little Nobody. It was fantastic. Like, it did a really, really good job at making this movie fun. It is pretty much the start of summer blockbusters. I mean, they're a month ahead, but I mean, we're 2 weeks away from, what is it? 2.5 weeks away from getting Guardians of the Galaxy, which will officially launch summer. But this is a blockbuster, popcorn enjoying, just good time film that, hey, suspend reality, enjoy this, go and watch this 2.5 hour advertisement for Dodge and just enjoy the shit out of the movie, because that's basically what it is. Go see cool cars, go see tanks, go see here a bunch of technical mumbo jumbo that doesn't exist or may exist, we don't know, and just enjoy the movie, because I thought it was really fun. I really did.
So now you touched on that Scott Eastwood joined the team. Were there any other surprises to either of you in this film that you were like, whoa, where that came out of left field, but you liked it or didn't like it? And then my other question I have for you is, did this kind of end on a setup for another one, or was this kind of a completion of the story?
Bobby, do you want to touch on the surprise, or do you want to touch on whether or not it's a sequel or a preface to another movie?
I'll touch on the surprise part, and warning everybody that we are going to get into spoilers. I mean, we have sort of said that we kind of just talk about it in a general sense now.
It's a spoiler-filled show.
But I do just want to just say, since everyone kind of did just get our mostly upfront review, that we are just going to start talking about it fully. And to that point, I will say that actually, Michelle, nothing in this movie really surprised me, to be honest. I felt like I was able to figure out exactly what was going to happen in this movie way before it all started happening and the reasons why. And especially from the point in time when Charlize Theron shows Dom this cell phone and kind of convinces him into why he needs to help her out, which you find out is because he actually has a kid, a baby that he had with the girl that he was with in one of the other movies, and she had been kidnapped by Charlize Theron, and so she was using her and the baby as leverage to make Dom do what he needed to do. And so I kind of saw everything that was going to play out way ahead of time, and yet it didn't damper any enjoyment I had out of this film for even 1 second, because just because I knew where it was going didn't mean that going there and the thrill of how they executed everything wasn't just as much fun. So there was no real surprise to me, but I enjoyed it just the same.
Cool.
Well, I was talking about the surprise. I mean, that kind of, I'm with you on that, Bobby. Like, I kind of figured that out too. I was like, okay, he has a kid somewhere, or something to the effect that she has something like that. I didn't think they were going to introduce Brian and his sister in again and anything like
Right.
that. That wasn't going to be like, oh, we have them, blah, blah, blah. I figured out that. I'm talking about the surprise of Helen Mirren showing up and halfway into the movie and having a small cameo. I didn't know that she was going to be in this movie, and it kind of totally took me by surprise when she showed up. And then when she showed up, I just, I figured, I was like, oh, okay, well, she's obviously the mother of Jason Statham's character and, his brother. And I thought it was a fantastic little nod, and she did a great little cameo, and she was a fantastic little addition to the film. But getting to your other question, Michelle, whether or not this is going to be a sequel or a preface to another movie, Charlize Theron gets away in the movie. So she's going to be back. I feel like she's going to be back because she got away. So do I think this is going to be a continuation of this story? Absolutely. I mean, especially if it's so well received, like, they're definitely going to try and bring her back. I don't know if she has a multi-picture deal or what the deal was, but Jason Statham is officially, it feels more officially that he is part of this group that is going to take down people, and they're going to reach out to him again in the future. I think that his mom will play another role. I think Helen Mirren will come back. And even his brother, who played Gaston.
Luke Evans?
Luke Evans showed up in the movie too.
Luke Evans is in it too.
I mean, he was the main bad guy 2 films ago. So what? This is 8. So in 6, I think he was the main.
Yeah. And he shows up, and he has a very small role. But they have that whole dynamic of, they introduce Jason Statham's character used to be this big time army war person that was very highly decorated and everything to that effect. And they even talk a little bit about it, which is brilliant, how Jason Statham's talking to Helen Mirren about, is like, oh, you need to get your brother. And he's like, Mom, he's a lost cause. And, he's like, he's your brother. You have to look out for him. And so it's just that whole dynamic. I really think that we're building up to have them come back for a Fast 9, and Charlize Theron will be back again with some more people. and offer another threat to these characters, because like I said, she got away, so she's definitely out there, part of me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I feel like that was a really nice addition and or surprise to, what we can expect for the next movie.
And if I remember right, I do recall Vin Diesel saying that he believes that this. I shouldn't say believes, but he has sort of saying that this movie is the start of another trilogy. So it's like this one and then two more to be able to, I think, wrap up the series.
Which
So,
would totally make sense.
Mhm.
Which
Absolutely.
would totally make sense, because
yeah,
this was a very much a prequel story for Charlize Theron's character in this movie, and the very fact that she does get away just offers that she will be returning as another villain.
yep. And the movie is already killing it at the box office.
Right?
Because I don't remember if you, or I don't know, Yasha, if you had a chance to sort of see exactly how much the movie is already making. It's on track, they said, to make about 103 million here in the United States, but they said it's on track to make about 534 million by the end of this weekend.
Yeah, no, I did see that. I did see that
It's
as well.
insane.
Which is crazy when you think about it, that it's made over $500 million in 3 days, and on a
Right.
holiday weekend too. Like, Easter is tomorrow. People usually spend time with Easter, and they're like, no, I'm going to go watch the Fast and the Furious. They go to spend time with their family.
Right.
They're not about that right now. And like we talked about before, it's like it did this well this weekend. If there's not a big opening next weekend for another movie, they're going to do well next weekend too. And even if they drop off 50%, that's still like $250 million added on top of what this movie's already grossed. Like, that's crazy. This movie is this franchise is killing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to put it into a little bit of perspective, the Star Wars The Force Awakens made 529 million globally in its first weekend. So if The Fate of the Furious makes 534 million, it already will have beat the Star Wars movie. And that's almost hard to imagine. Although, like, it is, if you sort of also put that in perspective, Star Wars is way more popular here in the United States than it is worldwide, and it's almost the switch for the Fast and the Furious. While we do love it here in the States, they love it more overseas than in the States do. So it makes it sort of almost an even playing field, but yet obviously there's more people out there in the rest of the world than there is just in the United States. So it could actually push its total beyond what Star Wars made in the total box office that it was out for. So it'll be very interesting to see how well it performs. And obviously this shows that the franchise has no signs of slowing down and that it's definitely going to keep going.
Man. Well, that's exciting for you guys. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, you don't plan on ever watching any of these movies, huh?
Nah, I'm good.
Wow.
I saw the first one and I've seen Tokyo Drift. I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay with things. Somehow I'll move on with my life. But
it's just so funny because it's like whenever you say that, like whenever we bring it up and you say that you've seen the first one and the Tokyo Drift one, it's like the Tokyo Drift one is pretty much considered universally the worst one of all of them. And the first one was not even sort of the same level as these other ones were. That one was, I'd say, the most sort of grounded of all. And then
for sure,
something else completely since then. So it's like you've seen a completely different franchise compared to what is actually out there now.
What it started as.
It's kind
like of, in all honesty, if you showed the first movie and then showed the Fate of the Furious to the same people and then tried to convince them that this is the same franchise, they would look at you and be like, man, stop lying. This is some really nonsense, right? This doesn't even make sense. Like, it's like how they go from street racers, because I was talking about this with a friend of mine at work today. I was like, so let me see if I got this right. They went from street racers to high-tech, super operative, special weapons and task force teams that are able to take out and, go against everyone. Like Ludacris took bets when he first showed up in a movie, and now he's a tech genius and hacker. I'm sorry. Like, wait, what? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's just that's what kills me. Like, he was a bookie when he first showed up in this franchise as a bit role. It was a bit role. Like, he was on camera for maybe 5 minutes, and then we never saw him again. And now he is a technological super hacker when it comes to anything techie on this franchise. Bravo, Luda. Like, you got to give it to the guy. Like, he totally just held on. He's like, bravo, dude. Just bravo.
I'm still good. You're not going to convince me otherwise, but it's all good. I'm glad that you guys enjoy it. And for the people that really enjoy the whole Fast and the Furious franchise, I mean, enjoy it. Embrace it while you've got it. And I say go, everybody's got their thing, and I don't knock on people that like the franchise. I think if you enjoy it and you have fun with it, yeah, keep going, dude. It's cool. Like, I'm cool with it. But so yeah, I didn't see anything this week. I'm a big loser. I didn't go see a film. I really haven't watched anything on TV. Yeah, I did this thing called going outdoors, and I hung out with people and had conversations. It was amazing. It was totally different for me.
You did what? I'm confused.
I know. I think it was called socialization. That's it. Socialization.
Oh. I thought you said we were going to go with social media. My bad. You went a whole different direction with that. Socialization.
Socialization.
I'm gonna have to Google that word later.
Let's try it. Well, on that note, everybody. So I think we're back next week. We might be back next week. As we said, there's not that much happening this next weekend, so who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
I was just going to say, we did not fail to talk about Star Wars. We do know that it's out there, but we are waiting for David to talk about it. So we will probably be talking about it very soon, and you'll have that to look forward to as well.
Yes, there should be a special episode all involving the Star Wars celebration that happened this weekend here in Orlando, involving the drop for the teaser trailer and the poster for The Last Jedi. And basically, it's going to be an episode of the four of us losing our minds and geeking out so hard on Star Wars. And it's going to be amazing. So you should definitely listen for that episode, because it's going to drop pretty quick. But
it's coming.
It's coming. It's going to be a solid geek out fest. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome.
Faux show.
So just as a reminder for everybody that's listening, our podcast is available on iTunes, Google Play Music. It's on iHeartRadio. Just search for Flicker Effect. Our episodes are also available on YouTube as well. Just go to youtube.com/Flicker Effect. Now, YouTube, there's no video right now, but you can listen to us, so it's all good. There's cool photos we're going to put up, But with that, I think it's time to get out of here and enjoy the rest of our Easter weekend. What?
Happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah, happy Easter, everybody. So with that, I'm Michelle Curry.
I'm Bobby Jackson.
And I'm Jascha Wilson.
Thanks for listening.